In this live coding session, we TDD a domain rules engine. And what's interesting is that the implementation of this evaluator for this game could be much simpler by recognizing that we don't have to support every combination of the rules. We're working with restricted rules. Let's not implement what we don't need. And then having done that, the second part is that we start TDDing a new subview inside of our Swift UI. All right, let's get going. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quality Coding live stream. My name is John Reed, and I am an iOS developer and a coach. And we do this stream every week. Well, that's a lie. It's on the calendar every week, and there are times when it doesn't work for me. So that's what we go for. Welcome to the regulars, Mudshark and Garbob. We'll see if anyone else joins. And welcome to folks watching after the fact on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel so that you get these. And, even if you're partway in and you think this is kind of okay, give it a like. Oh, hello, Eric, and first-time chatter, Girdle Escher Spock. Yeah, I've seen you on the socials. Greetings back at you. Welcome. Thanks for saying hello. Oh, let's see. Speaking of socials, I've been on Mastodon for a while, and just this past week, I thought, there's all this buzz about Blue Sky, and I wasn't interested, because why would I be? Because I was happy on Mastodon. But I'll give it a try, because, yeah, how else am I going to know what I'm turning away from? Greetings, the Coder Tricks. So I created a Blue Sky account. You can find me there, QCoding, on the main Blue Sky server. And I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, at how much easier it was to use than Mastodon. And that gives me some confidence that, there's been an explosion in signups, as you've probably seen. Those poor folks at Blue Sky must be racing to keep up with the explosion of logins and new accounts, new users. Not just new users who are sitting there silently. There have been a lot of people who have had accounts there silently for probably years. But it's active, and there's an active iOS community there. There are folks there that I haven't seen since I left Twitter some time ago. So that's been nice to reconnect with people I haven't seen. So if you're on Mastodon, I'll still be there. But honestly, I'm starting to reach for Blue Sky first. How about you? If you have a Blue Sky account, share your handle share your handle in the chat. Do it. Another thing this past week that was really good, just a couple days ago, was a talk from Kent on TDD. A very rare chance to hear him sort of give a front-to-back overview of the history of TDD, and most importantly, I think, where it's gone since, and his critiques of, well, especially, not critiques, always critiques, his answers to questions and his answers to critics. One of the best things that made me go, huh, that I hadn't heard before Um, is the answer to the question is which is better, bottom up or top down? Yeah, I know it's one more social, but check it out. Um, Bottom up TDD or top down TDD? And his answer surprised me. And he said neither, that's not the goal. The goal, he said, and he quoted Ward, I think, Ward Cunningham, was to move from a known space into an unknown space. So that's the thing that matters, going from safety into something new. And so it doesn't matter if it's top down or bottom up. You do whatever you think makes sense in the context you have. I thought that was a wonderful answer. This is an hour, well worth an hour of your time. And that's if you don't increase the playback speed. Heck, I wouldn't even bother increasing the playback speed. It's Kent. Come on. He's always got great things to say. Check it out. Check it out. Oh, I'll share this in here. Don't watch it now. Bookmark it. All right. Back to Mastermind. One more thing I want to mention now that we're starting to get into code in this session. Last time we changed the Xcode structure from groups to folders and discovered that the project file shrank to very little. All the files disappear. Hello, Love Waves. Welcome, first time chatter. And I said that would be particularly important for teams because you don't have all the files listed in the project file, and so you don't have all the merge conflicts. And I said it, maybe doesn't matter as much solo until yesterday, day before. I was working on my other project, which is doing conversion from Objective-C to Swift. And I ran into a situation where I needed to basically run back in time to where things worked, add a test, and then try to bring over, do a merge. Very unusual for me to use branches. But I had the stuff that was broken on a branch, wanted to bring it in, and I had merge conflicts in the project file with myself. So I think that is a very good reason not to use, or to, if you're using the latest Xcode, to switch over to folder structure. Yeah, there's no sorting. I don't think there's even a sort option anymore. Not for a folder. Yep. Love Waves, go ahead. If this is a chance to not only code, but chit chat. I like the social nature of this time. While you're getting your act together, let me bring up the discovery tree. Well, something else I want to start doing from the discovery tree is maybe review last time's retro notes. So last time we moved away from setup, we did the conversion to folders, talked about when not to TDD. Packages. Maybe we should think about packages or some sort of structure to separate the domain model from the UI. Oh, I learned something this on Friday. that I didn't know. No, a few more days ago. Um, Xcode previews for SwiftUI. If you're on a big project, you notice how they get slower and slower and slower. I didn't realize, excuse me, that it's not the complexity of your view that determines how fast your preview is. It's the size of the target. Because it actually goes and does basically a quiet build underneath of the target. So, if your Xcode previews are bogging down, break things up into smaller targets. We actually were working on a new view. It was frustrating. So the person I was pairing with said, let's just work in a mostly empty project. Actually, he suggested they might even create a new target that's just for mucking around with SwiftUI. Put it in there, and by golly, it was fast, and then copy it back. So that's something I learned. Excuse me. Other things we did, write tests as comments first, and not to be too hasty. Love waves. I implemented stuff on my apps so people can upload stories similar to Instagram stories, as well as setting their own profile pictures. And now will people feel some kind of uncomfortable uploading their own faces into my app? Well, that's not something I can answer. That's something to ask people, right? A very important part of extreme programming is having the user sit with you as you code. Excuse me, I really got a bug in my throat. And so if you can, find somebody who will sit by you as you code and ask them questions. And otherwise, take your app out. If you've bugged all your friends and they've given you feedback and it's kind feedback because they're your friends, stop people on. If you feel bold enough, stop people on the street saying, "Hey, hello, I'm making a new app. I'm nobody, or maybe you're somebody. I'm making a new app. Could I get some feedback from you? Would you help me by answering a couple of quick questions?" It's guerrilla user testing. So let's get back to where we are. We are working on Mastermind. Nice thought, Mudshark. We're working on the feedback to the guests and calculating it. We just finished creating the very first test, and so the evaluator implementation is done. It works for every situation in which you have 0 colors in the right places, which is likely impossible for most simple games of Mastermind. But we need to continue. And we created a helper to make it easy. Here, let's see a little more. So this is the easiest thing we can TDD. Let's do it. There's no UI involved. And we are working in Swift testing. Test. I have a Swift test method template. No, that's not it. I need to Swift testing. Oh, I don't need one anymore. The built-in one is actually decent. Okay, so we've got 0 matches. What for if we have the secret code is red and green and we guess blue, the answer is 0. We could get let's go for in the correct position. I'm not sure what exactly. And let's copy these. All right, what do we want to guess? How about red, blue? So that's 1 in the correct position. That makes sense? Let me know what you think. Red, green. Okay, I've got the thumbs up from Mudshark. That's what I was waiting for. And this should fail. When you TDD, call your shot. It should fail saying incorrect position is 0. And we're comparing it to 1. The format of Swift testing is a little different. It's kind of nice. You just have to get used to reading it. Incorrect position is 0, but it failed the equal to 1 expectation. All right. So let's evaluate the number of correct positions. How do we do that? Let's pull up guess and secret. So secret has the code. Guess. How to do this. It's easy, I say, and then I get all tangled up and have to remind myself, it doesn't matter how we get there. We have to get there the quickest, easiest way possible. So. Let's see. For the that's not bad. This is using GitHub Copilot, not Apple's AI. And that is not a bad thing to give to try. Right there. That's close. Okay, so secret we need to actually hold on to. Nice, thank you, Copilot. I am appreciating AI more and more as so far as fast autocomplete. You just gotta check it. So how about we say if it is in the correct thing, then we increment the correct position. Like that. And like that. And now we add a return. That's good. Ship it. This is a feature of, that's getting biggish. I'm going to say that is a larger feature of determine incorrect position, and it's pushed up in case you all want to play along. Not just in case. The main reason I'm pushing every time I'm in green is because that's what you try to do in trunk-based development. And that's how I would prefer to work on a team. All right. So correct position. In the next step, also remove the matches, keeping only the incorrectly positioned guesses. Right. Let's set up the test. Wrong position. So how about we say blue, red, and this should be like that. This will fail with this being 0 when it should be 1. Now. What's a good way? It's been a while since I've TDD'd this. And so, how to do it. Copilot probably, because this is one of the dangers of using AI with a well-known problem, and maybe one of the reasons it's like, wow, it's guessing so well, is that it's seen Mastermind. It's seen 1,000 variations of Mastermind and been trained on it. And so it can probably figure it out. How well does AI work in real code that actually matters for money, that is developing something that nobody else is developing? I don't know. How to get things that are in the wrong position. Extract the bad positioned guesses to a new array. There is a simple way to do this. What is it? I forget the simple trick. I mean, we could cheat and look it up, but no. Let's pretend we are actually struggling through. Let's pretend we're struggling. A set. So if we put them in a set, and then all we need, maybe it's not a set, maybe it's just like a number of, it's a count. It's not just the inverse. unless we simplify the code, the examples, and to say you only get to play with the colors that are on hand, that is, the colors that are in the secret. So in this case, blue might be the wrong thing. I think it would be a more advanced game to include more colors than you have spaces for. So, what if we simplify the problem? And not tackle this exactly? I think we can get there by saying, changing this from red, 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 blue to red, red. Right? This still passed. This still fails. I'd like to eliminate the blue. Red, green, red, red. I could say green, red, and expect this to be 2. This is my goal, is to get rid of, if our secret is size 2, we should, for now, be playing with the simpler rule. No, so no matches, I'm going to get rid of that. We thank it. Somebody asked, is it okay to blow away a test? Absolutely. We thank it and we move on. I think that this is easier to solve, and that this is the feedback, the only feedback evaluator we need at this time. In which case, this becomes simple. I believe, and we can test this out. If we get the secret size, secret count. What is secret code count? I think this will pass the test. Is this, well, not quite. Is this enough? That's what we need to determine. But I'm just trying to get to green. Nope. Right. For now, none of that. Oh. That's wrong. Okay. So no, that doesn't work. Let's go back and try again. Look at what Copilot did when I typed question, question, question. There is some weird stuff that happens. Like if I go up here and start typing, what the heck is this? Who the hell is Tux? All right. Let's reason about this a little bit more. Can we leave a slot open? They must all be filled in order to submit a guess. In the normal rules. That's actually a variant. is to have, what if your code could include blanks? So that's an advanced variant. All right. Let us get back to our one test failing, the one we want to advance. And now let's say no. What if we take, I think Mudshark, you had the idea of saying remove something. So maybe it's not a set, because you can have duplicate colors. That's actually an important strategy, is to say, I'm gonna guess like multiple, instead of all different, I'm gonna have multiple colors of this, multiple pegs of the same color. Yes. Misses in a new array. Oh. Else. Oh, look at this. That is pretty gosh darn good. Again, I think it's because Copilot has seen Mastermind over and over and over. Let's see. This is not quite right. Yeah, thank you. Tux, and who else? Oh, Tux is short for Tuxella Server. Way back in 2020. How about that? Okay, if guess contains secret. So this doesn't exist, but that's actually a pretty nice thing. Like, I think I'd like to code that into being, rather than having a bunch of complicated stuff. Well, let's see. Let's give it a try. So if we have contains code choice, yeah, like that. Code, hang on, like that, I say. I kind of expected something else, but that's actually, what's the difference between these? Returns a Boolean indicating whether collection contains a given sequence. Okay, that's not what we're using. So we must be using the where one. Nice. Let's try it. Will it pass? I hope so. Success. Let's try repeating the colors. Oh, would you? Man, doggone my throat. Oh, and hello. We got more folks on. 12 of you. Hey, thanks for coming. Say hello in the chat. Just type something. And even if you're just passing through, I'd like to hear from you. Generate commits quickly. Recently tried Lumen to generate commits. Very easy to use, works from the box. Feels like I'm... Thank you. I will check this out. Where to put this so I check it out? I'll put it in the notes. Oh, there's a whole brew install. Great. Let me add that. I'll check that out. Thank you. Okay, we have, we're still need to check this in. This is this feels a little more complex, even though it's just a couple lines, because it spans two things, and I'm not quite sure about it. I don't know. I think I'm gonna mark this as somewhat biggish. This is calculate in wrong position. So back to the question, does this, let's try some different things here. Let's do that. Let's bring back blue. And try something. Try it. Something. All right, so if we have red, green, blue, and we guess I'm setting these both to 0 so that we get feedback. The purpose of this test is to evaluate whether we're done or not by experimenting. So if we were playing this, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, red, 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 I would expect incorrect position 1 and 0 wrong. Yeah, red, red, red. 1, good. Next guess would be, okay, let's red, green, green, red, green, green, red. And that should be 1 correct, 1 wrong. So these will both fail, saying it should be 1, and this one is 1. Good. Green, green, red. Blue, green, red. 1 correct, 2 wrong. One thing I wish I didn't have to do, but it's Xcode. Oh, I forgot to make a little app code icon, didn't I? I wish I didn't have to click on things to see the results. But it's working. Red, green, blue, red, green, red. Blue. I'll try red, red, red again. Prediction here would be still 1 correct. 2 out of place. Red, green, blue. Let's try red, red, red. I think it was 1, 0. Let's try it. There's the 1. Yep. Blue, red, green. You know, this is looking pretty good. And that should be 3. And that should be 3 up here. I think it works. Wrong position 0. I mean, I've checked everything I can think of. I already did red, 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 man. Well, let's do it again. The answer was 1 incorrect, 1 in the correct position and 0 in the wrong position. And that is, in fact, correct. So, again, this is for a limited subset. It is not a full-on mastermind evaluator with all combinations, including blanks. So it's kind of interesting how by limiting the scope and actually getting rid of a test that helped us move forward, we've come up with something that works. I feel good. I don't see a need to have this test anymore. This was for confidence. Let's take a look at refactoring now. And see if there's anything to change. I think it's good. Oh, hello, Tukes. Good to have you. I haven't been on Jitter Ted's revival, but I hope you folks drop in and say hello to him. It's good to have him at least streaming again, even if I'm not there. Is there anything to simplify in this? It is a very small algorithm. I kind of like it. It's not that hard to understand. The else gives me pause, but if we were dealing with if we're going with micro objects, and this is a pretty small object, you know, do we need a correct position evaluator and a wrong position evaluator? I don't know. I don't think that will help at this point. Let's move on. Call this done. Okay. That's the easy part. Now we need a way to show it. And honestly, I feel like now is the time to introduce the guess, the verify button. Mud Shark, your time has come. um, because I don't want to be evaluating it every time. I want to evaluate the guess. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so if I say green, 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 we should have one right. It's got a big blue check here. Oh, interesting. Also, it's not enabled. So you're also uncertain about the else. Yeah. I think right now that's another one. The repeating colors is another variation that we don't support yet. Let's see. Settings. Yeah. So same, allow more pieces of the same color in a combination. That's something we are not supporting at this time. So let's take this out. Ta-da. And what do we need as part of this? Just start taking some notes. Actually, let me change this color to do so that it's easier. One is show the button. Two, another is disable or enable when guess is full. Another is the action. Get the feedback on the button tap. And finally, it would be to show the feedback, right? What we're doing here is we're discovering the work. Like, you can go now, man. Your work here is done. Your weeks and weeks of waiting. What we're doing is in a discovery tree is just in time exploration from where we are, from the known state to an unknown state. The unknown state is we want a guess button that works, a check button that works. Another thing this does is it gives us what Kent describes as in his description of canon TDD, which is he describes briefly in his talk, is that step one is make a list of the things, make a list of your tests, and then start and keep going until your list is done. And when the list is done, then this should be complete, right? So I think we are on to some Swift UI. This is not something we need to TDD. This is just a button that's there that does nothing. And we want to make sure it's positioned right and it looks okay. Again, for reference, let's get back to here. Looks like that. And there's our feedback. Just don't really have a UI tool that some folks, I know folks have these if they do a lot of UI measuring things. Okay, 59, 57. So like 60, 60-ish. I kind of want to see, you know, is this, trash that. Kind of how tall is this? So it's on the order of twice as tall. And what do we have right now? Let's close everything and go to, oh, what do we have here? Refresh file status. Oh, it's the unneeded blue. Okay. All right, so we can sort of get out of the domain for a second and get back into the game screen. And being a small project, we should get the preview fairly quickly. I understand one of the best reasons to get a new M4 is because, well, on the code side, and I imagine this would impact the previews as well, I hear it's roughly 30% faster. All right, so we've got these buttons. Well, that's right, it's live. Does it highlight it for us? It does. Nice. So we've got a circle. We've got a frame of 100, 100. So if we add underneath, this is the code choice view with a guess. Hang on. Let's find our way there. Okay, here's the code choices with the for each, and we want something in the same stack underneath. And just to get things up and running, I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm not going to use it all, but I sort of want something same-ish. So that's no action. I don't even want a circle. What did it just delete? There we go. If we have a height 200 and yeah, something close enough. Oh, it's the rounded rectangle. We got that. So that's nice that we're keeping that same appearance. That's a pretty strong blue. I probably want a lighter blue. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's not bad. It'll do for now. And let's give it an icon in the middle. Or a text. Let's see, a label. No, this is the label. So inside the rounded rectangle, can we give it let's see what that does. If anything, nope. We could have an overlay. It's kind of funny looking clipping there. Okay, it's just an artifact. Line buttons to line up. Oh, you mean these buttons? Which buttons? Which, adjusting which way? Welcome to other folks who have joined. Glad to have you. We are doing test-driven development in SwiftUI. And right now, creating a button. So no need for SwiftUI at this point. I just need the feedback I'm getting is visual. Like that to be bigger, the text. Super big. Let's see. No, not super big. Just bold? I thought it would do more. I thought this would set a size as well. Title. Thank you. So what do we have here? Title, title 2. That's good. Anything else? Oh, one question is, do all the tests still pass? Because we have tests against SwiftUI, I want to make sure I don't break anything by adding a new element. Cool. Now this should do nothing other than exist. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can tap it. Wonderful. I'm gonna, easy to remember compared to markdown headers. Thank you. Yeah, I get confused about these font types. So title. In fact, I want to note that right away. Like H1, H2, title 1, etc. That's a good thing to note. And if you have think of other things to note as we go, we have about 25 minutes left. Call it out. Okay, so let's commit this and then show button is good. Commit it, John. Do we need to test that the button is disabled now? I would like to. Now we need an action to test it. No, can't we check if it's enabled or disabled? Let's ask View Inspector. Or, whoops, sorry about that. Come back. Or let's take a look at View Inspector's tests to see if there's anything about enabled. I suppose label, roll, tap. Because I don't want it to just be whether or not it does the action. I want to know that the visual appearance has changed. And I don't see how to do that. How do we even do that in code proper? Let's explore that real quick. So if we have this button, how do you... I don't see how to do this. Or how to set it the disabled appearance. Is it on the view? Let's find out. How about we check here? accessibility enabled. I don't think that's what we want. Modifiers. Disable. So it's not enable. It's enabled by default. So disabled. Disable. Disabled. True. Let's see what it looks like. Right. It doesn't respond. Now it responds. We would like to let me go back here and check for disabled. What's this? Is responsive. That seems to be what we need. So this is done. It's more like disable when guess is not full. And we also need disabled appearance. We add this to our list. Let's do this. Whoops. In progress. Let's do a quick... Actually, let's just try it. Reset hard. Back in our game screen tests, we can say something. Tapping code choices. How do I want to do this? Let's copy this test right here and say check button is this something that should go in the code choices view. The quite possible. That's a good thought that maybe we should move it. Yeah. I just happened to stick it under there because that's where it is. Let's write the easy test first. Check button is initially disabled. So we don't need all these code choices. We don't need an inspecting view. I should just be able to say, find the code, the check button, and see if it's responsive. And this is on inspectable view. So if I say, pretty close. This is the question. First, we need to find it. Let's find it first before we do call anything on it. How do we do this? Here we are looking in the code choice for buttons. Okay, let me park this test and think about Mudshark's question, because that might affect how we do this. Something like that, except that the label is hidden in here inside of an overlay on a rounded rectangle, so it'll be a little tricky to get to. But to your point, if we move it, what does that look like? If we find the code choices view here, there we go. That's an H stack. So I could have a V stack with that and that. Bingo. Okay, and let's probably the easiest way is to give it an ID. Yeah, like that, check button. So with that, let us see. We're not in feedback tests anymore. Find let's now do the first part of TDD. This is not working. Find by ID. There's view with tag. Let's do this. Oh, there's view with ID. Oh, that looks like some weird number thing. Let's use a tag. So we should be able to say what is it? Find view with tag. And get the button on it. Let's go. So, for those of you who are seeing test-driven development in Swift UI for the first time, the very first thing we need to do is just be able to get at the element we want. If this passes, it found the button. So now I should be able to say, shoot. What was it? I forget. Is responsive. Thank you. So that should be okay. It colored it right. Now we have a test that should fail. Great. So now let's do the simplest thing. And say it is always disabled. And now this will pass. Nice. I am enjoying Swift testing quite a bit. There are a couple cases where I feel I can't use it yet. In fact, let's take a quick look at View Inspector and see what's going on. With regards to nothing visible yet. That's okay. Alexei, I trust him. He'll get there. Did I commit this? No, I didn't. Disable check button. And ordinarily with how do I get the preview to go again? I remember this. Is it P? It is. Okay. This is gross. And so I'd like to extract this. And hopefully it'll let us do that. Extract subview. And this is an automated change. It should just fly. I'll call this the check button. Let's rename it. And as long as it looks good and the tests pass, where the heck did it put it? Oh, look at that. It added it at the bottom. Thank you. Oh my gosh. It's been an annoying thing for me for so long in Xcode that extract method, for Objective-C reasons, extracts above and not below. And this looks like something we can just move into. I'm just going to move, let's see, extension code choices last to first. I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to move the preview down. And so it looks good. Tests should pass. This is a purely automated refactoring, so I am confident. I would call this, yeah, a low risk extract check button view. Great. So that's done. How do we do the disabled appearance? What even is the disabled appearance? Gray. There we are. Let's see, Swift UI button disabled appearance. Disabled color. This is for, you know, built-in buttons with nothing to them. Since we're setting color, no. I'm saying no to Eric. Why the heck would you want, sorry, I shouldn't. Hi, Eric. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you. An environment? That puzzles me. Shouldn't the button determine its own thing? I defined a button style, add a disabled button color to the color set. Yes, but then how do we use it? Oh, duh. By setting the color according to its state. That's why you wanted a environment variable. Okay, I think we're at a point where we will continue next time. So I'd like to do a retro. So this will be to be continued. Let's come down and think thoughts about what happened this time. That's one thing. Restricting simpler feedback evaluation by not basically by using limited rules. basically don't implement something. Oh, Garbob. I'll copy this. I'm surprised that you need an environment in there. I don't quite get that. But mine is not to wonder why. Let's add the note right here. Okay, we're set to go for next time. Basically, you know, what I mean by simpler feedback evaluation is don't implement what you won't use yet. Other things, anything else? We used a tag, find by tag. Once you find the right thing with View Inspector, View with tag just snapped right in, like psh, easy. All right, that seems good. Anything else? Going once, going twice. We are at my 90-minute mark. It's when my brain turns to mush. So I think that project styles are imperative. Well, come back next week. Yeah, I need you all to come back next week to help guide me, because I don't get this stuff yet, but it's interesting. This is fun, and helpful. All right, that's a wrap then for this session. Thanks for joining, folks on YouTube. Pat yourself on the back. You watched the whole thing. Give this a like. Pat me on the back. Really appreciate everyone's participation and input. As always, you make this stream really great. It's one of the things I look forward to every week. So thank you. Come find me on Blue Sky. I'm Q coding. I'll add that over here, maybe, the list. Gosh, I hope I can knock out this hire me soon. I am waiting to hear, and it's driving me nuts not to hear back from this company that said we want to make you an offer, and now it's coming up on weeks of silence. But I'm told from the inside that that's just not abnormal. Assuming I get in, I will have a thing or two to say about pre-onboarding, or this as part of the onboarding experience. So, all right, thanks very much. I will see you next week. Take care.